Hello and welcome. It's just past 10:30 on a Saturday night, and we are going to be doing more Untold Chronicles, this time episode 3 of Dust. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Hopefully our video is working. Thank you very much for staying with us. I can see we've got some viewers in us already. We're just waiting for our heroes to load up to Fancy Grounds as it needed some kind of update or something. And Mr. Brooks is definitely right. I've been having a week of technology problems, not just business, but also household. So it's been a fraught week. But I'm here with a smile on my face. It is Saturday, and we are going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons, so can't really complain. We're going to go straight into it after doing a few hellos and welcomes and thank yous, as usual, because we only have an hour and a half and the time just dissipates. So, firstly, hello, viewers. Thank you very much for joining us on Saturday night. We really appreciate it. Secondly, hello and welcome to our players. I'm just going to introduce you very quickly, or rather allow you to introduce yourselves. So first and foremost, Zach, hello and welcome. Who are you?
Hello,
Hello.
Emma. And I am Zach, and I am an ASMR causing trouble as a rogue.
Indeed. I've got my eye on you. And then fast and foremost, we're moving to Drew. Hello and welcome.
Hello, I'm Pete, and from the far off lands of Charnwood, and Drew is a total ranger.
It's going to be good. And then we move to Sakat.
Good evening. I'm Matt, also broadcasting from the depths of Charnwood.
Excellent. Hi, Matt. And last but not least, it's Ali Adin.
Hello, I'll be Cal, and yeah, Ali, the true star of the show.
Of course. Or is it iffy? We will see. We have pictures, there we go, of our wonderful cast, their characters at least. And what we really need to do is say a big thank you as well to Hero Forge, who gave us very generously permission to use the images from their website. If you get chance, check them out. They do some fantastic images where you can create customized images of your characters, NPCs, and the like. Sorry, Mr. Brooks is asking me whether I can turn Drew up a little. Absolutely. I say that. See if my computer is going to
It's
respond.
just a sign of my dulcet tones that you want to hear, isn't it, Brooks?
This is it.
It's that gorgeous voice.
Okay. We have a Hero Forge statement to read out. Many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures and get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. Please give them a check out. I don't think you'll be disappointed having a play around on their website. It just, the hours just disappear as you see all the different combinations to do it. Definitely worth a look. Right, without further ado, we've lost a little bit of time. We will go straight into it. Previously on Untold Chronicles Dust, our companions managed to get permissions from the Temple of Bastet, or Bast, to head out into the necropolis that is known as Hamanatra to do research. They teamed up with a number of individuals from the Smoke, no less, far to the north in Europa, who were having some issues with some Setites, worshippers of the god Set. They came into a degree of confrontation with them. They easily dispatched them, and they discovered an ancient tomb that had laid partially unopened for many years, and this was a major find. They managed to get into the upper chamber, revealed that there was a shaft leading down, defeated a very small but dangerous skeleton scorpion, and then very precariously climbed down. They now find themselves in this chamber here. Let us zoom in. As described, there is a relief upon the chamber door. There is two reliefs of the same woman, this high priestess Sanura, as a younger woman, mirroring each other. They did find an unfortunate who had perhaps fallen down the shaft, breaking both legs, and lay here, left to his fate. His body partially rotted away, but they did manage to scavenge a couple of items, 2 items of alchemist fire, as well as a few pitons and a hammer. This is where we find you wondering how to proceed next. There seems to be only a single exit from this chamber, but as always, it is up to you to make those decisions. What would you like to do? It is obviously pitch black down here as well, although, Ali, do you want to describe cinematically? You seem to be able to see in the dark now, but beyond that, even more.
Well, yeah. After a little rest and meditation, Iffy has given me Iffy sight. So now my eyes have these little flames in the pupil area, burning away, and I see everything quite perfectly,
Yeah.
with a little bit of a red orange tinge. Yeah.
Darkness doesn't exist for you anymore with this sight, and beautiful description of your newfound pupils. Okay.
Fortunately, before you got that new ability, you dropped a torch down here when we were up above, so
She
we can
did.
just about make out a bit of what's going on because there's a torch light.
Yeah, it's dropped on the floor and it's spluttering. You can probably salvage it if you want. Is
I'll
somebody?
stamp on it.
All right.
I have dark vision.
So do
Okay.
I shall light a torch.
Okay. Ali up to his old tricks again. Sometime these tricks will get you all killed. You light another torch. You can see now, Drew, perfectly. It's about 20-foot bright light, more than enough for this chamber. It's old. The only reliefs you can see are the mirrored images of Sinura as a younger woman, and this door that she's framing, leading the way forward. You can, of course, investigate the chamber further if you want, but nothing seems to be particularly apparently obvious. It is over to you all.
Well, I guess that door's next. How are we going to do it?
Well, I'm going to go check the door, obviously.
Sounds good. I'll just make sure that I've unlocked. Yeah, I've unlocked the tokens. You can move your own miniature if you want close to the door, and then I.
See
I
the
don't
map
seem to
at
be
the
able to see
moment.
the map.
That's because I might not have shared it with you all. Maybe.
There we
So much for your devil sight. Can't even see the map.
Well, unfortunately, there are powers higher than Iffy,
Indeed.
and that's you.
Yes. So hopefully, yeah, my mistake. Tech problems. Everybody can see clearly now. You move forward. Yeah, I sometimes I forget because I'm streaming that the viewers can see everything, and I forget that you as players can't actually see it.
Hashtag
So
awkward.
yeah, awkward professional, not really. So you move forward. There's plenty of light. Your dark vision wouldn't have been particularly sufficient to make out detailing, but now the light from behind you makes this a simple issue. Give me an investigation roll, Zach, please. Oh yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The door itself doesn't look locked or trapped. It does look, it's made of stone, looks heavy, and it kind of over time looks like dust and grit has slowly jammed itself, kind of making the door perhaps a little bit more difficult to just open. These doors are not really designed, they were never been designed to really reopen or reuse. They're not oiled hinges or the like. Um, with the 19 as well, you do determine that this thing doesn't open like a traditional door. It opens by being raised upwards into the ceiling, so someone will probably have to flex those muscles, get those guns out, and lift this door to allow people access into the other chamber.
So, chaps, is anyone actually particularly strong? Because we kind of need to get through this door and it goes up.
Drew's quite strong, but also you were talking about packed earth and bits of sort of detritus around the door.
Yeah.
Drew just takes a look at some of that and thinks a bit and decides it's time for him to show his new trick,
Woo!
Which is the cantrip mold earth, and he would like to clear that away, please.
Okay.
With a little bit of ranger magic.
Okay. So yeah, you begin to work on that, and it's not been jammed in there deliberately. This is just a build up over time, but you finally and quite easily with magic begin to sort of clear this out. This will definitely lower the DC for lifting this door up.
So much easier than using the spade upstairs. I don't know why I couldn't do that earlier. We had to dig so much sand out of the way of this place.
Yeah, you could have done it so much easier, but you learn. Maybe all that exertion above there kind of gave you some ideas.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm quite strong. Does anyone want to give me a hand though? Because I would love some assistance.
As much as I would love to, I am pretty not strong.
Ali does some poses, showing off his guns, and goes, "I can't help."
Yeah, but you look good. Well,
I am both pretty and strong, and I will happily lend a hand, Drew.
Okay, so if you two want to move to the door, not that anything is going to happen, but it's good to know where everybody is standing. If you want to all reposition yourselves so that we know basically where you are when this door is opened. That sounds good. Everybody happy with that?
Yep.
So who's going to take the lead here? Who's going to make the dice roll? You will get advantage on it because you are being helped.
Are we using strength athletics?
Yeah, it will be strength athletics as you sort of get your fingers underneath this large door and begin to sort of lift it up as it recesses into the ceiling.
Drew's fairly confident. So he's going to take the lead.
Okay, so give us a roll then. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard work, but clearing the dirt out of it has made it easier. It's not jamming as much. You do manage to hold it up, maybe about 3-4 feet. The two of you, allowing the others to move through, or certainly look into the chamber beyond. Let me open this up and you can actually see into the chamber beyond for you. Let me get you a description. So the chamber beyond, you can see that at the back of this there are sets of doors that resemble the ones that you have just opened, except Senua is clothed in a robe. She wears a headdress and looks older. She carries the same ankh in a hand that was on the previous illustration, but the other arm points at her own reflected depiction on the opposite door. Let's say two more reliefs, one either side of the door. Beyond that, it is empty again. It is covered in sand and dust, as you would expect of a tomb of this age.
Okay, we've got a door up. Do you want to go through there quickly?
I'm gonna go under as quickly as I can.
Okay.
I'll walk
I
under,
mean, you-
guy. You're looking very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Zach. Thanks. Now
Thanks,
get moving.
You're both beautiful.
Do you want to move your characters into this chamber, and I'll watch where they are stepping? Very nice. Nothing happens when you go through there, Zach. Boom, boom.
Do we have anything to prop this to make sure it's not going to jam closed later?
That is a question that you can sort of ask everybody. Does anybody have something that thinks will hold this door open? It does feel like it will just close shut again if you let go of it.
Looking on this side, is there a switch or anything?
No.
Okay.
Are there any blocks or anything?
No. Again,
No
you get
debris.
the impression these doors are not designed to be used. Once they are entombed, they are entombed. This isn't so much a complex that people came down to worship in. It was built, people were buried here. It was sealed off.
I'll just be like, nope.
How about
I
one
got-
of those pitons we found?
Yeah, I got some pitons as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, would the piton be high enough to do it, or if I could stack them somehow?
You could stack them, or it makes sense that if you bang them into the side of the door, they might hold it open a little bit.
Yeah, if I bring it in hard enough, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to try, does it? Because if we let go and it doesn't hurt, we're no worse off than we would be.
Okay. I'm going to say this is a simple action. I'm not going to challenge you with dice rolls. You have pitons, you have a hammer. It takes a little time and it's noisy, but who are you going to wake the dead? Nah. And you ensure that either side there are a number of pitons in, and you can kind of test it a little bit. The two of you who are holding the door can sort of ease your grip a little bit and see. And it does indeed hold open. You don't know how long for, but it looks fairly secure at the moment. It is only about 3 foot off the ground though, so you will have to sort of crawl under.
As long as my shawl fits.
Yeah, you can get through that gap, no problem.
This shawl is great, but it does feel sometimes like it's every bit of much of a hassle to get through things as a tin can of a paladin. Oh, sorry, Sakat.
My leather is actually quite light, thank you. I thought it's at the temple.
Okay, so the
We could have
door.
used the shell to hold it open.
Absolutely.
Can you like take it off?
I think we need Drew along.
No.
We need Drew along to deal with archaeological mysteries.
So I'll move through into the room if we've got the door held.
Yeah, it looks secure. So you move in.
I'll follow suit.
You move in as
or
well.
just leave.
As I say, this seems to be a sort of antechamber. The walls themselves, you see there are now faded reliefs either side to the north wall and the south wall. You can barely make out the pictures. If you want to spend time looking at them, analysing them, you can do. It's not a problem. But because they're so faded and eroded away, it is going to take some time to try and work out. There are some Ibean, ancient Ib words and scriptures across there, kind of like hieroglyphics. But it's going to take time. It depends whether you want to push forward or move slowly and take in the wonders of this tomb.
I feel like Drew will start at that, regardless whether we have time to finish.
Okay.
That is basically the torch is up there. He's looking at the wall. It's incumbent on anybody else to stop him because he's gonna start looking at the glyphs and trying to figure out what there is.
This is where we go to a little bit of sort of narrative agency. As you start examining these, what do you want to use? You could use obviously history, or you could use perception or investigation, or you can pitch, something else to me. How are you trying to sort of check these out and get the most you can out of them?
Well, most of what he's going to be doing is trying to make out, literally trying to see. So he's going to be right up in its face with the torch there, trying to perceive what can be seen out of this.
It's a good step forward, definitely, from the descriptions that I said.
Beyond that, he would like to try and see if he can. I mean, we had some reasonable success with the hieroglyphs and such in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
History roll would also suit.
Okay.
Just to try and find out what the story is here.
So, from what you're saying to me, if I kind of put it into a frame, you want to do a perception roll, and if you are successful, the degree of success on your perception roll will affect what you can learn from it, and then you're going to follow it with a history roll. Does that sound?
Yeah, I think that
good?
Sounds exactly what he's trying to do. Whether it's the best choice. But that's exactly what Drew wants to do.
Exactly, and it's much better to focus on your characters than sort of metagame it. So it's good. This is a perception roll, and that is super. Yeah, not quite a crit, but good enough. And you begin to sort of make out the figures and the designs and the scripture, beginning to piece it together in your mind.
Does the story make any sense to the things I know? Is there anything in here that might give us insight into what's going on? History.
Yeah, absolutely.
For that, I think.
You've lowered the DC with that very good perception roll, though, which is a good thing. It's
complicated.
Very complicated. Your best guess is it's kind of historical. You think it dates back to before even her time, and it seems to depict the battles of the Wish War. You kind of know a little about the Wish War, not a huge amount. It's kind of a legendary conflict between powerful elemental forces. This dates back to thousands upon thousands of years ago, where Jinn, Ifrit, Tao, and Marids had the power almost at will to bend reality through wishes. And because it came so natural and easy to them at this time, why not use it in the battles that they were fighting? The stories say, though, that so powerful, so much of reality was distorted that it began to unknit the very fabric of everything holding together. And the world at that time was on the brink of being ripped asunder. And you think that this kind of relates to that period?
He's these seem to show ancient things. Time of the Wish War, but I can't tell really much more than that. The world being torn asunder. I mean, those one of the things that I'm most excited to find down here will be anything to do with those tears that there might be in reality. But
You've
it's
come down here to find tears. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. I know we could have just bought some silk and ripped it, but it's slightly different.
Anything about how the door opens over there?
No, I did want to find that out too, but no, I got a feeling it's going to involve like heavy lifting again, but we'll see.
The
Okay.
door does indeed look very similar to the door that you've just opened, basically.
Oh, okay. So Drew's going to work his way down the room, looking at all of this stuff and
Yep.
figuring it out. Eventually, he's going to inevitably be standing in front of the door,
Okay. Just
looking
before
at it.
you take a step forward, what is your passive perception?
Not good enough to spot the moving floor that he's about to stand on and fall thousands of feet to his doom, I'm afraid. My
Okay.
passive perception is 13, I think.
Okay. That is very just enough. As you kind of go to take a step forward, the DC was 13. You notice something about the floor. It's still dusty, shows signs of age, but it's kind of just slightly, maybe half an inch, maybe even less than that, raised up more than the rest of this floor. And your sharper eyes, your passive perception notices this before you put your foot down upon it.
Literally standing there with my foot above a slab that is higher than it should be. Drew turn around and go, "Oh, Zach, I think we're meant to check for things like this before I go tramping around looking for hieroglyphs next time."
Well, you tramped first,
Steps
so I'm not going to get in the
steps
way.
back away from the slightly proud flagstone and leans down to look at it more closely. You any good at figuring out mechanical traps in a underground tomb?
Can I have a look?
Would I be able to spin back a little bit and get the description of the two reliefs either side of the door again?
Yeah, absolutely. The relief shows the woman that was in the previous chamber, but an older illiteration of her. This time she is robed. The previous one was a younger, more sort of naked, sort of flat sort of relief. She wears a headdress of ancient Ibyan design and robes. The robes, though, are interesting. They seem to be covered in feathers. She carries the same ankh, but the arm points at her own reflected depiction on the opposite door. You fairly confident this is another illustration of the High Priestess Sanura, High Priest of, I believe we said, Isis.
I think so. I have a note somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's no difference between the two.
The two either side of the door are identical, pointing at each other.
Okay.
Yeah, The Song of Isis.
Yeah.
Was her fancy title.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want to move forward, Zach, and take a look? Ali's moving around.
Can't move the map very well. It's not
It's okay.
working for me.
I can move you
Yeah,
forward.
I can't actually. It's not letting me go that way. Oh, that's annoying.
So you get to here, and With it pointed out, it's fairly obvious. The two flagstones in front of this door are pressure plates. The door in front of you is obviously designed, again, not to be easily opened. It's kind of a door that sort of comes down into the ground. The only way you could get to the door and kind of lift it up would be stepping on one of or other of these pressure plates. What would you like to do?
It'd help if I could see the rest of the map. It's just not letting me. Which
Okay.
is a little bit frustrating.
Can you see any of
It's not
the...
letting me like navigate it, so it's not letting me go around it. It's just showing me part of a map.
Okay, so you can scroll in and out of the map either with your central mouse key,
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
and
That's gonna be easier.
that will zoom you in and out.
That's better.
And if you want to move the map around, if you depress your central mouse key, you can drag the map around as well.
Yeah, that makes more sense. There we go. Okay, now I can go near the door.
Okay, you don't really want
You
to
don't want to
step.
go that far.
You don't
just
really.
I'm not
step
gonna do
on
that.
the
That's
pressure
exactly
plate.
where you want to stay.
That's fine. I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
I need to look at a thing, don't I?
Yeah, these
Yeah,
two
yeah.
pressure plates here that directly in front of you are the ones that look like they are raised, and they are pressure plates. Fairly easy for someone of your talents to sort of see now that they are pointed out with you. What is the more trickier thing is not what they are or how they work. It's the fine ability to be able to potentially disarm them, if that is what you would like to do.
Right, I'm going to attempt to disarm these things.
Okay. So your best option, I would imagine, is going to be using your thieves' tools. You should have proficiency in this, so it should be your dexterity plus your proficiency. So your dexterity is +2 and your proficiency is +2. So you should have +4. Yeah, so a sleight of hand roll would be good.
Sleight of hand.
Unfortunately, not a critical fail. But as you are trying to wedge and jam, you put too much pressure. From the other side of the room, you hear as two darts just zoom out from the side of the walls here, boomf, and here. Fortunately, Ali is into there and you are ducking down, so the only two they might try and hit will be Sakat and Drew. So let us see what happens
Of course it will be.
as we call up the encounter for this. Oops.
Drew had been so close to going into his shell, but he
Yep.
didn't do it.
Let us see. So we've got
Cat
your.
was curiously leaning over Zach's shoulder to watch,
Yep,
and was about to pay for her curiosity in the way of all cats.
indeed.
Bloody cats.
Let's just do this. I've never actually done a proper trap in Fantasy Grounds before. I'm assuming it's going to work in the same way as a monster. That looks good. So the first thing I'm going to do is target Sakat. This isn't a saving throw. This is just basically an attack roll. It just shoots out. Trigger pay +4 to hit. And it does hit you. It does 2 points of damage, and as you kind of look round and it strikes you, you kind of see there is a blackish stain upon the dart, and you begin to worry about whether it is envenomed. The second dart shoots out and attacks you, Drew. And critically misses, slamming into the wall. No real damage there at all.
I think it must bounce off the shell and just hit the roof.
Absolutely. Ding. You haven't disabled the trap as yet, and 2 darts have come out. Did you want to do anything particular, Sakat, when you have been hit by this dart?
I'm going to attempt to remove the dart, and
Okay.
going to hope that I'm not about to fall over from poisoning.
So you pull it out. You don't need a medicine roll or anything like that, and you see that the dart is blackened, but you don't feel any worse. You don't feel woozy. Maybe you've been lucky. Maybe the darts set so many years ago, the venom upon it has dissipated and no longer potent.
I'll give the end of the dart a quick sniff and see if it smells particularly funny, other than having my blood on it now.
Yeah, give me a medicine or nature roll. You can choose which.
Well, they are relatively much of a muchness, but we'll go with nature.
Mm-hmm. That is good enough. Yeah, you think the poison, it's not nice to be hit by one of these things, but you think the poison is long gone, just faded with time. Fortunately, invading an old tomb means that sometimes these things happen. You're okay. Physical damage, but no secondary poisoned effect on that dart.
That's a lesson to us, I think. Maybe we need to get you one of those metal shells. Actually, Sickart, that looked like it stung a bit.
A little. I've
Um,
worse
I'm,
in the last day or so.
I'm going to cringe down into my shell and say, on you get, then.
What did
Zach,
we
do you
learn
want to have another
about
go?
peering over my shoulder while I'm trying to work?
That's why I've moved. You have
And like I say, I'll curl into my shell to sit and
Or maybe
wait.
you are losing your touch, Zachariah.
All of this help.
Yeah, Ali, you're not helping again.
Totally helping.
You're really
Zachariah
not.
works
Give
better
Sally a look.
when you goad Zachariah, he works better. You're shit.
I love you too, bitch.
Thank you.
Okay, you have unfortunately not disarmed this. You would have to have another go if you want to try and do it. You think the process was right. Maybe you just got unlucky. Maybe with the warming words of Ali ad-Din, you will do better this time. That's if you want to continue trying.
Yeah, let's try again. Oh, come on. Damn it, computer.
This time it's no problem. You kind of figured it out, and you wedge these things and you cautiously put pressure upon them. And for the moment anyway, this trap is disarmed. Congratulations.
And I'll just go here and I'll start dancing. I'll say, you see?
Okay.
I'm concerned your theory was correct.
I'm going to make a dice roll because
It's not ominous at all. Thanks, Andy.
well, it's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with the fact that you can physically see Ali jumping up and down on the pressure plates at the moment. You don't think that this
Dancing.
is a sharp move. Oh. Thank
Ali's
you
not
very
known
much.
for his sharpness.
I get a lot
Okay.
pointier in a second.
I'm literally moving out the way just because.
Okay. I think. I want you to give me a strength athletics. I'm being kind to you here, Ali. I'm assuming your strength.
Athletics.
I'm assuming your strength athletics because you're jumping up and down, aren't you? This is to represent you jumping up and down.
I'm only 2.5 feet tall.
Exactly, which is why I've chosen strength athletics at -1. And I'll give you disadvantage on this as well because Zach did a good job at the 19. So yeah, so Zach's work isn't undone by you jumping up and down on the pressure plates, which maybe just carries on fueling your chance that Ifrit is looking after you, and deadly traps won't ever hurt you. Yeah, it seems to be perfectly safe. Ali has moved around upon it, and it's okay. Yeah, you've done a good job there, Zach.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Time for the door crew to move in.
Uh,
Not me.
yeah. So Drew will uncurl from his shell, stand up.
Yep.
Walk over. Let's have a good look at this door then, and we'll have a look and see if we need to remove dust and dirt from around the edges of it again. Just try and clear it up again, make it easier for ourselves again.
Yeah, it looks
Using that
more or less
old earth
identical.
cantrip.
It looks like it's eons old. No one's been through here, and mold earth will get rid of the bits of grit and sand to make it easier to kind of lift this door.
I don't know how this happened, but it's really useful down here. Snell. Right. Okay, Sekat. Can I borrow your shoulders again?
Certainly. Could I get past you for a moment, Ali?
Okay, I'll stop dancing.
That'd be kind of you.
I mean, at least you have confidence that the pressure plates are not going to give under your weight, as Ali has been doing a special. What kind of dance was it, Ali? What
It
kind
was
of?
like a little sort of like jig,
Right.
like a little, just a little bit of a river dance type. Just my feet
Right.
going mainly.
It's
Just so
probably a
when
good.
Drew looked out, all he could see were these two tiny halfling feet dancing in front of him. Yeah.
It's
Very
probably
nice.
true to say that Drew weighs significantly more than Ali.
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Shoulders
was
are not
proving-
light.
But it was all fine that Zach fixed it. And whilst they're doing that, I'll just look at it, try to look at the wish war and try to go, is that you, Ify? No? Is that you, Ify?
Drew smiles to himself because he was actually wondering that himself.
Indeed. I mean, there is a chance. There is a chance that Iffy was part of that. He is
Picture there.
powerful.
So yeah, focus, athletics, with advantage, and pushing this door up with the help of Sekat.
I mean, that sounds like that's what you want to do, and that help really did indeed.
That really helped.
And yeah, you do manage to open the door.
Thank you, Sekat. I think I nearly dropped it there for a moment.
But you have the same problem again. It's easy enough for you to get through into this room, but if you don't wedge this door, it is going to be, it will just close again by its own weight. This room is interesting. You see that there are two pedestals. Two large pedestals that are either side of a large tapestry. On top of these pedestals are two large, and I mean large cats. We're talking maybe panthers or leopards. You can't tell exactly what they are because they are actually mummified. Wrapped in preserved bandages, both lying there with their paws over one, kind of looking at the door that Ali has jumped through.
Yeah, Ali. Just to warn you, if any of those things move, I'm gonna drop this door. So you
Okay.
might want to get back this side of it just in case.
Okay.
We are, after all, in an underground tomb with creatures wrapped in bandages. Doesn't look good.
Why don't you just?
Can we try and fix these this door up?
Yeah, I don't have any pitons.
I'm gonna bash some pitons into the door.
I
Okay.
don't think Isis would approve of undead creatures in the tomb of one of her high priestesses.
Yeah,
Could be traps.
Well, it's what gods want, and then
yeah.
there's what actually happens.
there is, and let's just be safe. It's dangerous down here, which is great, but it's dangerous down here.
That's why we have weaponry.
They put those wrapped up cats in this tomb to celebrate her, right?
Well,
Yeah.
as you with your no doubt, are we going to call it devil sight, or are we going to call it some? Because it's not really infernal, is it?
Eyes of Efi.
Yeah, eyes of Efi sounds much more appropriate. These burning eyes. You can see this clearly in this room without an issue. Bearing in mind the door's only open about 3 foot, so the torch that is the other side, the light is somewhat sort of blocked. And obviously you can see these two large sort of cat-like creatures mummified on these pedestals here. But also here is a large faded tapestry, and you see in colour a depiction now of Sanura, and you see that she is surrounded by a number of items. You see that she has some kind of necklace or collar. You see that there's a large panther, a feathered cloak. There is a bowl of some kind of petals and a scroll that lies at her feet. It kind of looks like these are maybe important items to her in life, maybe even gifts. It's difficult to tell, but you can pick out that detail straight away with your eyes of Ephri.
I'll just be like, oh, you should really come in here, Drew. There's a beautiful tapestry. Honestly, you would love it. It's in color. It's amazing. It's just behind the big mummified cats.
Zach ducks down and runs through. You can also see that there is a door to the north and a door to the south. Is anybody going to help the two people opening the door with pitons?
I think
Yeah,
Zach
I'm gonna.
is.
I always said I was gonna hammer in pitons.
Absolutely, you do indeed repeat that action. No roll again as you, and the door again holds. Cross off another couple of pitons. That's 4 pitons that you've used so far.
Cool. How many have I got? How many do you get
I've-
in a?
I've
thing?
got 10, so
Cool.
I can.
Okay, so I have 8
I can cross them off mine if you would like.
Yeah.
So that because then you can have 10 because you're the one who's doing the hard work with the pitons, and I'll pass you another
Okay.
couple each time.
After you've hammered them in, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I do have pitons. Yeah. I should really look in my bag. Yeah.
I thought someone had picked some up.
I find that helps. Yes, I did.
From the unfortunate fellow we found in the first chamber.
Yeah.
The dead guy.
There wasn't a huge amount of them. I believe there was a handful, basically. I can sort of look at that.
Yeah. So we've gone through the pitons from the dead guy.
Yeah.
Cool. We will be getting through a lot. Yes. But look at the tapestry. You might want to look out for traps as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look around for anything sus.
So yeah, this will be an investigation. The door is secure for the moment. You have managed to do that, but give us a investigation roll, please. 13. Okay. Yeah. Initially, nothing looks particularly trapped, but there's something about the tapestry, maybe the positioning of it, or I don't mean the actual location of the tapestry, I mean the positioning of the items and the woman. It seems to be, and it might just be the artwork of the time, but it doesn't look particularly natural. It almost looks like it's done deliberately rather than to look like a natural picture of someone relaxing.
So we've got a panther, a cloak of feathers. Now that Drew can come into the room and have a look properly.
Mm.
A panther, a cloak of feathers, a bowl, and what were the other things that?
A bowl of petals, a scroll, and either a necklace or a collar.
That's right.
I'm gonna go and might have a look a bit closer.
Creep forward then, Zach. I dare you.
Are these actual giant stone jackal heads in the bottom corners?
They are jackal heads. They are set maybe about 5 feet, maybe 5.5 feet from the wall. And the top, they stone, the top of them are hollow. And you think that these, you would put maybe candles or oil lamps in there, and they would have illuminated this room while people were working in there. Jackaled heads gods, Ibian, probably Anubis, you think. You are familiar with the gods of, obviously, Ib. Yeah, Zach, you kind of move cautiously around there. Are you trying to do anything in particular as you get to there?
It's just mostly with the everything. It looks a bit off, so it's trying to see what from a different angle looks more off.
Okay.
If it's causing anything that's.
As you get close to the mummified cat, panther, leopard, whatever it is, yeah, this isn't a trick or a statue or whatever. This is most definitely exactly what you saw it to be. It's a mummified creature. You can now get close enough and you can smell the ancient embalming fluids. You can see the bandages that have begun to sort of fade, still preserved because of all the preservatives and embalming in there. But yeah, this is the real deal. This is definitely a mummified cat of sorts. As for the tapestry, you kind of can see that there's a large pole that goes across the top that the tapestry is hung from. And you get a little bit of look behind the tapestry. All of that looks normal as well. You don't see that seems to be any kind of secret door. There's no breeze or anything moving the tapestry. It's more to do with the picture. The picture, give me an insight roll. Everybody can do this as you kind of, if you're paying attention to the picture, give me an insight roll. If you're not particularly looking or you don't want to make an insight roll, don't feel that you need to. Yeah, Zach, you don't. I'm going to have to reward Ali. I'm going to have to reward him with that critical success. Yeah, homebrew rules, we do critical successes and failures on.
The eyes of Ify guide me.
It does indeed, and yeah.
That looks kind of weird.
As you look at this, it's kind of obvious to you. This is most definitely a picture. It's a picture of Sonura. It's a picture of things that obviously are tied to her in life. But it's an obvious and blatant message, a clue, maybe even the solution to a puzzle.
Like a particular order of things.
An order of things or items of worth or need. Maybe the things that she needs to return to the land of the living when the time is right. Maybe you're not sure exactly what, but yeah, the solution is in front of your eyes. You just don't know what the question or the puzzle is.
I'll just be like, yes, very nice. Mm. So, are we going to get the
What's
next
very
doors
nice?
open?
What's nice?
Cheers and all this stuff. This stuff could be useful.
What stuff? What do you mean? So
Her stuff.
and it just looks
You
weird
know?
to me. I don't know why it looks weird.
What are you talking about? It's obvious. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, she's goddess of life, false gods, and all that. Needs this stuff probably to bring her back.
What's okay?
Can't you see that?
No, I can't.
Well, you know,
Clearly, you know more about gods because you have your Efi now.
if he's not a god,
Well, whatever.
if he's from the time before gods,
Well, he's clearly important then. So,
hence the reason he calls them false gods.
okay, false gods.
He is
Okay, the
not.
false gods. What's the dealio here?
Well, she's dead. Yeah. And
Well,
she
yeah,
wants to
because
come
there's
back.
mummified cats, so I'd presume there's death. So yeah.
And to come back, she will need her stuff, her things. She's very
What
materialistic.
stuff and things? So she wants stuff and things. Okay.
So much wants, needs to come back to this mortal plane.
Cool. Which door are we taking?
Which one's she pointing at?
I don't know.
She's not really pointing at any of the doors. She's more kind of taking account, looking at these items that she's either wearing or has bestowed upon her. There are a couple of items that you're not entirely sure what they are. The bowl of petals. I mean, you could perhaps examine those a little bit more, determine exactly what the petals are. The panther. The collar is a really nice Iberian, sort of Egyptian-esque kind of collar, set with gold and jade beads. You have kind of seen that. You know that is a specific type of comma, sort of called a shebu. The cloak, you can kind of make out the feathers a little bit. They seem to be from some kind of bird, maybe a firebird, maybe the colorization, which has faded, is feathers of gold and orange and yellow.
And you said a scroll as well?
Yeah,
Right?
the scroll is quite large. It's kind of more of a scroll case, and as you kind of look closer, there is a ancient hieroglyphs along the scroll case that you potentially could try and translate if you wanted to.
I'll be like, do you know this language through?
I don't expect I will, unless it's Aquan, Common, or Primordial.
No,
We've had some success with guessing ancient Iberian scripts.
Well, maybe the people from the Curiosities, they'll like to come down here, but we should go a little bit further, maybe.
Yeah, I think we need to make sure it's safe before we bring them down.
I don't think one of these cats is the cat she wants, right?
What cat does she want?
Give me perception rolls. As these dice rolls, that was almost a natural one. Look at this. Both of the cats are the right size to be to be the cat in the picture, but it's almost impossible to tell which one. Apart from the fact it seems that you were all on fire tonight, with the 21 and the 20. There's something about the left-hand one, the way that it's, and then you realise the way that it is posed in its mummified state. It's very similar to the way that it's actually depicted upon the tapestry.
Zach and Drew both kind of point at that, and then Drew looks at Zach, looks at the
What?
picture. It's that one, isn't it?
It's one. I
It's
have
that one,
no
definitely.
idea how I did not see that before. Look, seriously, it's that one. That one.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's
So-
a bit big to put in our pocket.
No, I don't know whether we have to bring them here or whether it will become obvious where we need to bring the things.
What if we?
I hate to think what will
look
happen
at
if we collect them all.
Why don't we have a closer look at that one?
I don't know. We get like someone coming back from the dead,
Yeah, that might be
Um,
great.
or terrifying. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure yet.
I'm with you.
Or, and I'm just going to float this idea out there: the items are powerful, and we keep them.
Well, we
Maybe.
monitor that that's the one that we need.
Items
Yeah.
extreme religious significance to
Which direction do we need to go? Someone who actually knows archaeology. Which way are we going?
I think Saket was saying something actually that could have been important.
Sorry, Saket.
these relics of extreme religious importance to Ib.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason we were given permission to explore these tombs and this whole city was to recover these for the temples.
Okay. So, do you want to take this cat?
I'm hoping
The
we have
cat?
a chance to come back out this way.
Well, we
Um,
can.
Then we can tie it to a rope and haul it up behind us. But for now, it's quite big and quite cumbersome. And I very much hope it won't walk away on its own.
I'd be concerned if it did.
So Zach backs up a
Exactly
little
what
bit.
I mean.
So it's fairly easy to make out the other items in the tapestry. The only thing, a feathered cloak of golden feathers would be obvious. This beautiful sort of Ibian sort of collar stroke jewelry of turquoise and jade and gold, again obvious. The cat you seem to have found. The scroll and the leaves are going to take a little bit more. There are scrolls aplenty within Ib, and the leaves you would probably need to do. Do any of you think you can work out what the scroll or the leaves actually represent? Anybody want to give it a try, or are you just going to move on first?
Can
I
I
don't think I can, but I think Zach would try.
Now, the problem is with just trying is that you can get it badly wrong. I'm more than happy for you just to try, but it's whether you want to, whether you feel confident in your ability to get the right information.
The player, I have no confidence in it. As Zach, in character, would go, I totally know what I'm doing.
I don't have an issue with that. As I say, it's not me saying out of character you can't do it. It's me as a GM saying if you get it badly wrong, there will be repercussions.
The player's going, this is a terrible idea. In character, I'm going, this is a fabulous idea.
Yeah, I love it.
Drew's leaning into his danger as well. He is a one of his background pieces of his description is that he is ideal, is the ideal of danger. With every great discovery comes grave danger. There is risk here, but the rewards are great. He would
Okay.
definitely try and help Zach with whatever Zach
Whilst
comes
they're
up with.
going there, I'll just go, yep, Zach, I remember how well you dealt with that trap to start off with, so I'm just going to give you some space.
Okay. And how do you feel about all this, Sakat? Is there anything that you want to put your mind to?
I'm going to try and work out if there's any familiar religious significance to any of these things, like particular plants that are associated with Isis, or birds, or anything of the
Okay.
sort.
Excellent. So that is quite possibly a straightforward one. So I'm guessing you're asking me for a religion roll?
If I could, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Give us a religion. That is fine. And you do indeed kind of study it, and you realize that the symbolism on the scroll, it's actually the words that are on it and the way that it's depicted religiously. It's the scroll of the words that she used to bring magic back to the world. It is the original scroll of the Song of Isis. Um, um, it's probably of great religious significance, maybe of power, or maybe like scrolls, once she scripted it, once she used it, it is nothing more now than a relic of sorts rather than something with great power upon it. Either, if it's down here, it would be a magnificent find. So that's what you get with your 15 there. Very nice. And that leaves the leaves. That leaves the leaves. I didn't realise I was going to say that, but there you go. For you, Zach, this would be quite possibly nature, but with the nature of these leaves, I'm going to give you a choice here. You can do a nature roll, but because of the nature of your character, I would allow you to do a rogue roll. What I mean is your character class will determine the success. So it'd be a d20 plus your level plus your proficiency. So that will be a d20 plus 4. You can choose between either of them. With Drew helping you, you can have advantage as well should you wish to uncover the nature of these leaves.
Drew's got a few things. He's proficient in nature and survival, as well as investigation and history. So he's desperately keen to assist and help. So I hope that justifies your choice.
Absolutely. So it's up to you, Zach. What skill would you like to use?
Okay, what am I clicking on? I'm really confused now.
I know what I'm basically saying is you can do a nature roll,
Oh,
or if
nature is a no. It's just what am I clicking on for this? The rogue
okay,
roll, as
so
it
you
were.
basically it's a d20 plus 4. So if you go to the bottom of the chat,
So if I just click on that and then it's
well, if you just put 4 in your modifier box and roll a d20, it should do it for you. But you do have advantage as well, so you can click on the advantage button.
cool.
This is a special kind of role that certain individuals will be able to do when it's related to you. That's good. Dropping the 2 with the plus 4, it's worked out nicely. And the two of you sort of study it for a moment, and you recognize it for completely different reasons. Zach, you realize this is the Black Lotus petals. It is a illicit, in modern times, narcotic that allows people to have great visions. It's worth a great deal of money, and you being a rogue would obviously be aware of such things, which is why you did a rogue roll. Your nature roll, Drew, obviously assisted in that because it's a thing of nature as well. It does exist in the sort of various parts of the world, far to the south of here, actually, in the jungles. It is indeed also the most expensive of the Magic the Gathering cards. So this is a powerful plant that was used perhaps in ancient times for high priests and priestesses to commune with the very gods themselves.
Black orchid, you said?
Black lotus.
Black lotus. Hey,
So putting
it's
your sorry,
quite
go
a
on.
collection of things we may want to try to bring here one day. I wonder how many of them we might find down here.
I'm
Perhaps.
not going to lie, if we find black lotus petals, that's worth a small fortune.
I wonder what the cloak is, though.
True.
Those golden feathers. I can't think of many birds that size with golden feathers. Some kind of eagle or something?
But that would be a fabulous cloak.
Yeah. I like my shell, but I'd probably put a cloak like that on too.
Yeah, totally. Right? How fabulous would you look?
Wow.
Anyway,
Yes. Let's not go there.
you know what? There's
We've
just
got work to
mostly
do.
mummies in here. Let's go and like crack on with this, like investigating the tomb. Which way? Intrepid, like archaeologist.
Well,
North, and I'll just point it to the north.
Okay. So there's a door. This door, though, as you can all see this, there's no need for a roll. It's unlike the other doors that you come through. These doors have been designed they're kind of normal doors, so they are hinged and should swing inward, basically. No, sorry, I got that wrong. They should swing outward, looking at the hinges, so they should open up into this room.
both of the doors, north and south, are similar.
Yes, they are indeed.
Well, this might be slightly less hard work to open.
Yeah, do you want me to go through this one? I can check. Whatever.
You might want to
Just
check.
remember that. Just remember that.
I say as I step
plate.
away.
Well, I'm not going to go on a plate, so I'm just going to go here and I'm going to do the door thing.
You are aware that quite clever trap makers deliberately don't necessarily put things in front of the door. They put it to the side for exactly that reason. Give us an investigation roll. You've got the time, and it would make sense for you just to be. I'm assuming you're being cautious.
Yeah.
So give me an investigation roll. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that is super good. You're fairly confident that none of this is trapped, either the door or the floor. You're good to go, basically.
You know, that makes me feel really terrified about what might have been on that Darth Sicat.
Yeah.
If they haven't trapped everything on the way through, they clearly meant that to stop you.
Well, I still feel fine.
Can you scroll and open the door, Zach, or do you want me to do it because of your... There you go, you've done it. So you can see there are a set of stairs going down, and there's actually a closed door there, not an open door. It's me and my design. There's a set of stairs, and there's another door that is similar to the door that you have just opened.
Obviously, it's a closed door, so I'm going to check the door again.
Yep, give us another roll. No problems on the steps as you descend down. Steps go down perhaps about 10 feet.
So, was that investigation again?
Yeah, please.
Neat.
And just above her on the stairs. Just above him on the stairs.
Ali is doing a full step workout at the moment. A 16, Zach, is brilliant. Again, you don't think it. This time the door opens into the room rather than into the stairs. And it opens up into a very large chamber. The first thing that you see directly in front of you is what appears to be a chariot. It's a light chariot, beautiful. Gilded with gold and precious stones.
We're gonna go have a look at the shinies.
It's a very interesting room. You don't think that this could have easily been brought into this room. It must have been taken apart and reassembled here as a centerpiece. Also around this room there are numerous animal skins, which are obviously trophies. This is kind of a hunting chariot of sorts. You can also,
Drew's jaw may have just dropped through the stairs
yeah,
in
this
astonishment at what he's looking at.
it
He
is
hasn't run into the room yet.
it is magnificent, a perfect find. It's obviously weathered through the time. It is, but it's a very good example of a very early light hunting chariot. You also notice that there are a couple of chests in the room as well. Um, the largest one is obviously here. As you move round, Zach, you see that there is a chamber beyond that also has some chests. You also notice in this area here, the sort of small corridor area, there are 4 masks hung on the wall, each one predicting a different kind of face. From west to east, you think that the masks maybe depict various ancient Ibian gods. You can give me a religion roll if you want.
Be very careful, Drew says, as he just stands in the entrance to the room staring at all of this stuff. Like almost not able to believe what he can see.
So yeah, so as you look at that, the gods with your 19 is very good, do represent Isis, Osiris, Nephis, and Anubis. 4 very prominent Ibian gods.
Sorry,
And-
Isis.
Sorry, I'll put it into chat for you. That will
Thank you.
no doubt make everybody's. If I can get my computer, which is running on empty.
Oh, bless you.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It should hopefully work. Look at that. Look at that. So Isis, Osiris, Nephis, and Anubis. And with your 19 religion roll, Sakat, you would probably know this automatically anyway due to your nature and your belief. All of these gods had animosity, enmity with Set for one reason or another. The masks are very nice though. They are gold, set against the wall, and probably very valuable.
Lean over to Drew and just go, is it sacrilegious to take these?
Um,
I'll be behind him, just shaking my head, going, "No."
I don't know if Sekat will hear that or not. 'Cause
I,
she-
Shaking my head to say no. As
Well, they
opposed to
clearly
saying
need
no.
further examination. No?
yes, they
Yeah.
definitely need further examination. Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, while
This-
I'm
this
taking them off
is-
the wall and putting them into a bag.
This is the most unbelievable thing that Drew has ever seen in his life. This is crazy.
So I'm going to. There
He's
is
a bit shell shocked.
something that I can share in the inventory sheet for you. Let me get your characters in there first. And there we go. So you're all in there. Go across to the inventory. Try and organise my tabletop a little bit. It is glitching a little bit, and then hopefully we can do that, and that will, maybe not. There we go. So if you click on your party sheet, which is the little button to the right of the crossed swords on your virtual tabletop, that opens up your party sheet, and if you click on inventory, you will see indeed there are the masks as treasure items that, if you are, Zach, planning to take them and put them in your bag, do you want me to put them in there for the moment?
Yes, please.
Just a second. Just a second. Hold on. Don't put them away yet. Is there anything else in this room? There are chests in this room.
And I'll be like,
I've-
yes, I'm
I've
being careful. I'm checking
got
for
a-
traps.
I've got another trick I can do.
Okay.
What?
Let's collect the things, and then let me examine them closely when we've got everything. Put it in the bag for the moment. But when we got everything together,
Well, if
get
I
it
take,
out.
I'll take these things.
I've
You
got
can look
another
at
trick
these
I can
things
do.
in a sec. Well, and
Yeah.
I can go and check the chest, and also maybe check the chariot because that's covered in shiny things.
I'll go and look at I'll go and stare at the chariot a bit and see if there's anything more interesting than just the fabulous gilded chariot. Is there anything about it that
Give me
isn't just decoration?
an investigation roll. So currently you have the masks, all 4 masks, Zach, in your bag. Yeah.
Go and help Ali with this chest.
Yep. You move to the chest there, and looking at the light chariot, I mean, it's a fantastic archaeological find, and it will have intrinsic value as a display piece. But you know, as a now vehicle, the decorations upon it are heavily faded. You think more as a museum piece, it's valuable rather than as an artifact that is perhaps magical or enchanted or anything like that.
This is the thing we let the guys from the smoke figure out how on earth they travel with it across all of the continents. They'd love this.
I believe they would travel with magic.
Yeah, I hope they would with this. But yeah, crazy.
So we have Ali and we have Zach looking at this chest. The chest itself is closed. It's of Ibyan design, ancient Ibyan design, and there is most definitely a lock upon it.
Do you want to do this or shall I?
I can try. If you want to help me see if there's any traps.
I will help you, but if you get shot by anything, it's not my fault, all right?
Right. But
Just like that last time, remember?
All right. Teach me about this trap looking. So I will.
Right, come on,
I
let's
will
try.
have
Let's
a
try
looky
this
looky.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who wants to make the roll? You will obviously have advantage.
I will.
Okay.
Because I'm learning.
Yep, that sounds good. So this is an investigation to see whether there's a trap or not.
Really good at investigations.
Looks
7.
clear. Yeah, it's definitely clear.
Looks fine. And
Okay.
I'll attempt to pick the lock.
Okay, this is going to be a sleight of hand or thieves' tools proficiency.
Yeah, I'm trained with thieves'
Perfect.
tools, and I have them.
Yeah, go for it. Natural 20.
Yes.
So
just
I'll
springs
look at
open.
Zach, I'll go, just like riding a bicycle, whatever that is.
it is indeed. As you begin to click the lock, it's magnificent. It opens easily, and as you slowly but surely go to raise the lid, Sakat, the temperature in the room that you are in begins to drop severely. Bearing in mind this is indeed dust, and even in the coolness of this tomb, it is cold, and you feel the presence of a horrific spectral form begin to manifest. And that is where we will leave it to the next session. Well done, guys. You have learnt a lot.
Cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger indeed. We won't roll initiatives. We will do that at the start of the next session. Thank
Feel
you.
this is going to go well.
Yeah. Thank you very much for doing tomb investigations and tomb robbing, maybe? I don't know. We will find out what happens next session. So, big thank you to you, players. Really appreciate it. And a big thanks to everybody in chat and viewing. And everybody that subscribed today and gave us a follow. We really appreciate it. Tomorrow night is our very first episode of Court of Five Thunders. So that's going to be exciting to see exactly what happens there. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Take care, everybody, and we will catch you all very, very soon.